We have 6 matters on the agenda today. 1, the election of 3 Class 2 directors. 2, the ratification of the appointment of KPMG LLP as the company's independent auditors for the company's fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022. 3, the amendment of the company's 2020 Equity Incentive Plan to increase the number of shares of Class A common stock reserved under the plan by 7 million. 4, the amendment of the company's Certificate of Incorporation to increase the number of authorized shares of Class A common stock by 150 million. 5, the approval on a non-binding advisory basis of the compensation of the company's named executive officers. And 6, the approval on a non-binding advisory basis of the frequency of future advisory votes on the compensation of the company's named executive officers.
Okay, this is Dan Ninavaji. There are a couple of questions regarding the charter amendment increasing our authorized shares of capital stock. I would say that the charter amendment doesn't commit us to issuing all of the newly authorized shares, but it does give us financial flexibility in a very volatile capital market environment. So we think it's prudent to have the flexibility to do it, but it doesn't commit us certainly to issuing 150 million shares.
In accordance with the inspector's report, I declare that Angela Strand, Joseph B. Anderson, and Laura J. Suave have been elected to serve as directors of the company for a term of 3 years and until their respective successors are duly elected and qualified. That the selection of auditors has been ratified. That the amendment of the company's 2020 Equity Incentive Plan has been approved. That the amendment of the company's Certificate of Incorporation has been approved. That the compensation of the company's named executive officers has been approved on a non-binding advisory basis, and that a 1-year frequency for future advisory votes on the compensation of the company's named executive officers has been approved on a non-binding advisory basis.
So over the past year, we've had a significant and I would say seamless management transition. The focus has been on deep experience in the areas most critical to our future, particularly engineering, product development, and vehicle launch, as well as strong financial discipline and corporate governance. And I couldn't be happier with how the team is coming together. 2021 was a challenging year for Lordstown Motors, but also one of great progress. I joined in August of last year after having followed the company for several months. What initially attracted me to LMC was its mission to go after the commercial pickup truck market with a high-performance vehicle and hub motor technology that I believed, and I still believe, is truly differentiating. I was convinced that the company had a great product, the right customer focus, and a potential advantage in speed to market. However, none of that ensured that the company would be successful, particularly at the time. As I've said before, a great product does not make a great company. And while the pickup truck market offers tremendous potential, it also promises significant competition. So the challenge I saw when I joined the company was how to marry all the good elements of Lordstown with a better, more durable business model. That did not require a change in our mission, so much as a different way to get there. Slide 13, I've tried to contrast our original business model with where we are now and where we're headed. In my opinion, it starts with moving to a more variable cost structure, especially when the financing markets make capital harder to come by. It also includes not trying to do everything on our own. Developing and manufacturing vehicles is complex, and especially for a startup, requires strong partnerships and the ability to leverage others' capabilities. We also operate in a competitive global industry against much larger OEMs, so any business strategy has to address how to get the benefits of scale without achieving scale on our own. And finally, we need to understand our core strengths and competitive advantages. These are critical to defining where we have a right to win. So our focus over the past 9 months has been to address what I consider the strategic imperatives, while at the same time staying focused on launching the Endurance. In my view, while it doesn't solve all of our issues and challenges, the Foxconn transaction and strategic partnership is a major step in the right direction. It moves us from a traditional vertically integrated OEM without scale to a less capital-intensive business model, leveraging our own product development capabilities, the MIH platform, and Foxconn supply chain and other strengths to bring EVs to market faster and more efficiently. Last week, we announced the closing of our transactions with Foxconn. The deal included the sale of our Lordstown facility for approximately $260 million, a contract manufacturing agreement for the Endurance, and a joint venture agreement with a $100 million commitment from Foxconn to jointly develop new electric vehicles for the global market utilizing the MIH platform. Of all the aspects of the deal, the JV, to me, is the most exciting. Not only does it solidify our overall strategic relationship with Foxconn, but if properly executed, it provides a scalable vehicle development platform for both companies. That's a great opportunity. The shift to a more variable cost structure that I mentioned earlier is illustrated using our Q1 numbers. As you can see, we have been able to significantly reduce our operating expenses by transferring the plant. On top of this will be a very large reduction in CapEx required to maintain and upgrade an almost 50-year-old facility. More importantly, perhaps, Foxconn has the ability to fill the plant quicker than we could on our own, benefiting all OEMs whose vehicles are produced there. The benefits to all parties are even greater as we introduce MIH-based vehicles using common components. Again, a recap of the JV agreement with Foxconn. The new entity is called MIH EV Design LLC and is 55% owned by Foxconn and 45% by LMC. LMC will lead all product development activities on behalf of the JV, and we expect the initial program will be approved before the end of the year. Edward will talk about this more in his section. And with that, I will turn it over to our outstanding president, Edward Hightower.
Our top priorities at Lordstown Motors continue to be launching the Endurance and building our product development relationship with Foxconn. Our Endurance pre-production vehicles, or PPV builds, started in Q4 of 2021. While we are currently actively managing supply chain constraints, our PPV builds continue, and our vehicles are currently undergoing high mileage and durability testing, which will be followed by homologation and certification testing. We plan to start commercial production of the Endurance, or CRP as we call it inside the company, in Q3, and dependent on timing of final certification, we plan to begin sales in Q4. Our FMVSS frontal, side, and rear crash test results have been favorable, and we continue to predict that the Endurance will be a 5-star crash safety rated vehicle. It has been a long journey, and we look forward to our customers experiencing the Endurance. We think they will love it. In addition to a lower total cost of ownership, the Endurance's durability, maneuverability, performance, and traction will be welcomed by customers that truly use their vehicles for work. Our in-wheel hub motors make the Endurance especially responsive and enable superior traction on all road conditions. We've made significant investments in intellectual property, including our battery pack and hub motor production lines, software for our vehicle control unit or VCU, and other of the many modules throughout the Endurance. The Endurance will be a great example of the Lordstown team's capabilities in hardware and software engineering, vehicle systems engineering and integration, along with testing and validation. Foxconn's $100 million commitment to our new MIH EV Design LLC joint venture is a testament to our team's capabilities to create winning vehicles from concept through launch. The JV will enable LMC and potentially other OEMs to achieve reduced costs, faster time to market, and as Dan said, increased scale. Over the next 6 to 8 months, the team will work to define and create the initial design concepts for our MIH-based products for our LMC commercial fleet customers. A portion of the $100 million commitment in the MIH EV Design LLC joint venture will go towards funding these pre-development activities. In conclusion, we are nearing the launch of the Endurance, a unique and desirable vehicle in an important segment in the United States. A new asset-light business model, as Dan described, a strong team, and a joint venture that will focus on creating, engineering, industrializing, winning software-defined vehicles for our customers. Dan, me, and the entire Lordstown team, thank you for your attention and support.